Hi, I'm Carl, co-founder of Thunder Compute. Thunder Compute is the cheapest way to self-host AI or ML. If you're looking to build an app in AI or use the latest models, we're the cheapest and best way for you to get started. I'm going to show you around the platform in this video, and by the end, you'll have a good idea of what we do, how you can use us, and why it's the best platform out there. So to jump right in, I'll sign into my account. There's three main paths you can take. So first, you can experiment with models directly in your browser. And this is really the easiest way to get started, and it's what I'll show you first. And then you can also use VS Code or the command line to get deeper access to your instances, configure more, and really set them up exactly how you need. If we start off with the browser path, you're going to need to add a payment method so that you can access the instances. And then it'll take you to the templates page. Basically, what you need to run some of these models is a very, very high-end, expensive data center GPU. And we can give you cheap access to these GPUs. And then you can experiment with the top-of-the-line models yourself without having to shell out the cash for a big GPU. If I click one of these, it takes a minute to get everything set up. But when it's ready, you'll see this application ready and open in browser button. If I click this, it opens up a new tab, which directly brings you to that AI tool. If you've ever experimented with these before, there's a ton of setup that you normally have to do. We kind of take all that away, make it one click, and then you can just get into the tool in your browser without touching anything else. Once I'm in here, there's some examples of workflows you can run. If I click the image generation one, it brings up this default image generation workflow. And this is just one of many tools that you can use. So I'll leave this for another video, but to show you another path you can take, if you go back home, exiting this page will close the connection, so it gives you a quick warning here. This is actually the cloud instance that we just created that has Comfy UI on it. And if I want deeper access to that instance, what I can do is follow one of the other paths that you saw in that setup guide. So the second one is the CLI tool. And if you haven't used the CLI before, you're directly logging into the cloud instance, and you can run anything you need, add whatever files you need. You just have more control. What you have to do is go to your terminal or command prompt if you're on Windows. And I have that open in this other tab. And then there's the TNR command line tool. So if I run TNR, I have this installed. If you don't have it installed, you can go to our documentation, and there's setup guides on exactly what you need to download, how you get it for your computer. But once I'm in here, I can see that cloud instance that I just created with TNR status. When I run that, you'll see the same cloud instance we saw in that web UI. And to connect to that instance, you can run TNR connect, and that instance ID is 0. So if you're building an app or setting up an API or really anything, this will give you the level of access that you need to do that. Now for that last method, VS Code or Cursor or really any IDE, we have an extension that you can install and then get direct access to your cloud instances where it seems like it's on your own computer. So if I go over here, I'm using Cursor right now, but you can go to the extension store. And if you look for Thunder Compute, this should be available to anyone, and you can install this. I'll update it because I don't have the latest version. And if I click this drop down up here, you'll now see the Thunder Compute extension. And if I go to the Thunder Compute extension, you'll see this same cloud instance. So really, we're just giving you 3 ways to use the same instances, whatever's easiest, whatever's best suited for your workflow. So now that I see that here, there's actually a lot packed into this pretty simple UI. I can connect to it, which is that connect command you saw before. I can stop it, which pauses it, cuts down your bill a bit when you're not using this. I can right click and I can delete it if I need to. I can create new ones and I can refresh. So 2 things I'll show you here. First, the create menu. If you didn't have an instance yet and you just wanted to create one, you don't have to do it through the website. You can also just do it here. This opens a menu and you can choose the specs you need. And then when you create, you'll have another instance here. And like with any of the other paths, you can access this instance regardless of where you're entering from. Because I already have one, I can click Connect. I can click Open Folder and go to this Ubuntu folder, hit OK, and we're in the file system of that instance. So now I can run anything I need as if I just have that data center GPU on my laptop. And really the magic of all of this is we're giving you access to really, really expensive hardware for the cheapest prices on the market. This cloud instance that I just created, the GPU costs $20,000. If you were to rent it from AWS, it would be over $3 an hour, and it's about 50 cents an hour with us. So I can do everything I need directly through my local computer on this really expensive GPU for the cheapest prices on the market. I hope that clarified any questions that you had. But if it didn't, feel free to reach out directly to me or anyone else on the team. We have links to our Discord and our documentation, and that's the fastest way to get in contact with us. But we'll respond anywhere. So thanks for watching. Reach out if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing what you build with us.